Hey Racers, JonRacer3 here today, and we are here for the finale of Hot Wheels Tournaments Season 5. Here we go, we have all of the cars lined up, all of the victors. There are some cars in here that are very, very fast. Comment down below who you have winning this thing. Alright, after you've left that comment, let's continue with the video. Now, the way this tournament's going to work is a little different than the rest of the season. We're going to have races of 3 instead of races of 6 across. And the matches are going to be randomized. This is going to be an insane tournament to find out who is the fastest Hot Wheel. Let's find out. Let's get our matchups. Let's take a closer look at all of these final matchups. We'll start with the front row, where we have the Olds, the Infiniti, and the BMW. Second row, we have Nissan, Fisker, and Fiat. Third row, we'll have Hummer. Then we'll have Renault and Lancia. Then it will be the Mustang, the Mostretta, and the Aston Martin. Then we'll have the Pontiac, the Porsche, and then the Nissan. Next up, we've got the Volkswagen, the Pagani, and the Mini. Next row, we're going to have a Jaguar, a Honda, and a Prius facing off. Then we're going to have a Mitsubishi, a Ferrari, and a Ford. After that, we're going to have another Honda Civic. We have a Dodge, and then the Chevy Bel Air. Next, we're going to have a DeLorean, a white Tesla, and then the faster than ever Corvette. Then we're going to have the Alfa Romeo 8C versus the Hyundai and the Citroen. Then we have a Lotus, a McLaren, and an Urus Lamborghini going to face off. We've got the second Corvette C7, I believe. Then we have the Bentley and the Maserati. Next up, we're going to have, looks like, the Jeep, the Mazda, and the Audi facing off. We're going to have the Chrysler, the Supra, and the AMG facing off as well. Then we will have the Performante Lamborghini facing off against, it looks like, a Toon Shelby and a Mercury Cougar. Then we'll have a Porsche Cup Car go up against a Coppola Camaro and a Plymouth Superbird. And then for our final matchup, we'll have a faster than ever Dodge Charger versus an Austin and a Ferrari 250. So the way this tournament's going to work, as you know, there are matchups of 3. We'll choose the victor from each race, and then we'll pit the victors against each other. But then the next round will be randomized based on the winners, so it will not be like in concurrent order of how they are now. Everything will be randomized in this tournament, so cars can race against other cars of different types. This is going to be a great tournament. I say we get started. For the last time this season,
Hot Wheels Racers, pick your lane!
we have our first 3 cars on the starting line, and then, for example, as you can see, this Infiniti is probably the smallest car width-wise here, so it'll go in the middle lane because I don't want any cars being stuck when I push the trigger. So let's get started with race 1. Who's going to take it? Will it be the BMW, the Olds, or the Infiniti? 3, 2, 1. And it looks like it's going to be the BMW 2002 beating the Olds and the Infiniti. Next up, we have Nissan, Fisker, and Fiat. Which one is faster? Who will go home today? Who will move on? We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. It's a close one between the Fiat and the Nissan. It's going to be the Fiat beating out the Nissan and the Fisker, moving on with the BMW 2002 to the next round. Here we go for our next race. We have Renault, we have the Hummer, and then we have Lancia. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. And that Renault is going to speed away from these guys, moving on to the next round with the Fiat and the BMW. We've got 3 red beauties taking on the track next. We have the Aston Martin Vantage, we have the Mostretta MXR, and we have the Mustang. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. It's a close race. It's going to be the Mustang sneaking the win away from the Aston Martin and Mostretta, moving on to the next round. Here we go for our next matchup. All 3 of these cars surprised us when they moved on to the Champions Tournament. Let's see how they do when they're racing against each other. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a close one! Very close! But it is going to be the Porsche Boxster Spider moving on, beating the Nissan and the Pontiac. So in my eyes, I see this race as a blowout, but who knows, maybe the Fiat Racer and the Mini will be able to trump that Pagani. In 3, 2, 1. Look at that, it is such a close race!
Lane 2.
But it is going to be lane 2, the Pagani beats out the Volkswagen and the Mini, moving on to the next round. Here we go, we have our most unlikely candidate in this race. We have the Prius. We'll be able to beat the CRX and the Jag. We both know those cars are fast. Let's see who will take it. In 3, 2, 1. It's a close race, but not really. The Jaguar taking the win in his gold livery. What a race. We have our first champion in this race. We have the Ferrari Testarossa in this race, going up against Mitsubishi Ford GTX Treasure Hunt. We know that's fast. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be a good race, but the Testarossa is just way too fast for these cars. He's gonna be moving on to the next round. In our next matchup, we have another trio of red cars. We have the Honda Civic, the Dodge, and the Bel Air. Who's gonna take it? In 3, 2, 1. It's a good race between all three of them, but it's surprisingly going to be the Bel Air taking the win and moving on to the next round. Next up, we have a trio of supercars that I definitely didn't group together just because it would look good in the thumbnail. We have the Lamborghini, the McLaren 720S, and Mercedes-AMG GT. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Look at that Lamborghini go. It is going to be the Lamborghini Huracan Performante taking the win, moving on to the next round. Here's our next trio of cars. We have the Citroen, we have the Hyundai, and the Alfa Romeo. Who will take it? In 3, 2, 1. It's a close race between the Hyundai and the Alfa. The Alfa has the lead, but he loses it to the blue Hyundai, taking the win. Going on to the next round. Here we go. We've got a sandwich here of two white cars with the Urus and the Tesla going up against the Lotus. Who will take it? In 3, 2, 1. That Lotus is flying fast. It'll beat both of the white cars and move on to the next round. It's time to see how fast this Corvette really is, going up against a Maserati and a Bentley. Both of these cars extremely fast. Who's going to take it? This will be a very good race. 3, 2, 1. It wasn't a very good race. It was the Corvette by a blowout win. Absolutely blistering fast car. Let's go to the next round. We know how fast this Jeepster is, but can the R8 beat him? We'll have to find out in 3, 2, 1. By a long shot, the Jeepster is extremely fast. Wow. I'm very excited for this race because I know how fast that Super is, but will he be able to trump the C6 Corvette? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Look at that, he gets derailed! And the winner is lane 1. Alright, since this is the final and a car got derailed, we're going to switch lanes and try again, because every car deserves a shot at that throne. Alright, it's time for the rematch. Who's going to take the win? That Chrysler is actually surprisingly fast. Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be close!
Winner, lane 3.
It is lane 3, the Corvette. So obviously moving on to the next round. We now have a Ford, a DeLorean, and a Mercury taking on the track. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be the Ford with a nice steady lead. In lane 2, taking the win, going to the next round. We've got a Plymouth, a Porsche, and that Copo Camaro, which seems to be extremely fast for some reason. Let's see how he does. 3, 2, 1. It's a close race!
Winner, lane 2.
It is lane 2, the Copo Camaro, moving on to the next round. That is a close race. And here is our final matchup. We have the Charger, and we have the Ferrari 250. Who will take it in the last matchup of the first round? 3, 2, 1. It looks like the Dodge is absolutely going to destroy. He'll be moving on to the next round for sure. here are your cars moving on. I'm gonna shuffle up these matchups, and we've got another round of side by side action. We have our cars lined up. Let's look at the matchups. We've got the Bel Air, the Charger, and the Lotus. Then we'll have the BMW 2002, the Shelby, the Hyundai. Then we'll have the Fiat, the Copo Camaro, and the Corvette. Then we're gonna have the Renault, the Jeepster, and the Jaguar. Then I think our fastest matchup, we got the Testarossa, we got the Pagani Huayra, and we've got the yellow Corvette. And we've got the Mustang, the Porsche, and the Lamborghini. So the way this is going to work, it'll be the same thing as the last round. It'll be a one race elimination, and we'll have one victor after every single one of these races. At the end, we will have 6 victors. And now after these 6 victors, we will do 3 1v1s to determine the finale with a 3-car race down to the finish. So let's start with our first matchup with the Bel Air, the Charger, and the Lotus. So these cars worked really hard to get here. Let's see who will take it home in 3, 2, 1. Look at that, it's gonna be the Lotus, but it gets derailed. And it is the Charger. We'll have to re-race because of that. But man, that Lotus is fast. They've all switched lanes. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. It's close! And it's going to be the Lotus. No, it's not! It is not going to be the Lotus, it's going to be the Bel Air. Sneaking that win from the Lotus. What a crazy race that is. In our next matchup, we have the BMW 2002, the Shelby, and the Hyundai about to take on the track. Who's going to go home and who's going to move on in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be the 2002 advancing to the next round. Here's our next matchup. We've got some crazy fast cars. We got the Corvette and the Copo and the Fiat all in one race. Who's going to take it? We'll have to find out. 3, 2, 1. It's a close race. It's going to be the Copo Camaro hitting the VTEC at the end of the strip. What a race. Our next matchup includes a Jaguar, a Jeepster, and a Renault. Let's see who takes it in 3, 2, 1. It's such a close race between these 3 cars, but it is the Jeepster in lane 2 taking the win. This is the race everyone's been looking for. I know it's the race I've been looking for. We've got 3 extremely fast cars. We got the Pagani Huayra, the Ferrari Testarossa, and the Corvette C6. 2 of them champions, 1 of them unsure. Let's see who takes it in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be the Ferrari Testarossa in lane 2, beating out the Pagani and the Corvette. What a race. I don't know if you guys care about this, but that race was actually very big because the Testarossa did compete in Season 3 against the Pagani Huayra, in which the Pagani Huayra won and the Testarossa, I believe, got 2nd. So now that the Testarossa has redeemed himself against the Pagani, it is his only option to win this and get a tournament under his belt. And that Corvette is actually the GT Series champion. He did not compete as well as the Pagani or the Testarossa. Man, these 3 cars, they are all champions. Here's our final matchup. We have the Porsche Boxster Spider, the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, and the Red Mustang. Who will take it in 3, 2, 1. The close race between all of them, it is going to be the Lamborghini Huracan beating out the Porsche and the Mustang. Moving on to the semis. We've got 6 cars, only one of them can be the champion. The way this is going to work is I'm going to randomly assign them a partner, and they're going to race their partner in a 1 race down duel in a 1v1 to the finish line. So after this we will have 3 victors, and then that will be the final. It'll be the best first one to 3 wins, I mean, in the final. My bad. So let's see the matchups for the duels so we can see who will be competing in the finals. So because this is the order they finished in, I'm going to be doing the Bel Air versus the Lamborghini, the 2002 versus the Ferrari, and the Copo Camaro versus the Jeepster. Let's get started. We have a 1v1 matchup between 2 exactly opposite cars. 1 show car for the drag strip, and 1 track car for the track. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. It's a close race between both of them.
Winner, lane 1.
It is lane 1. The Bel Air sneaks the victory out of the Lamborghini's grasp. Lamborghini's been eliminated and the Bel Air will be in the finals. Let's go. This matchup breaks my heart because one of these cars have to lose. The Testarossa versus the 2002. Both some of my best cars and fastest cars. Who will win? 3, 2, 1. It is such a close race between these two. But it's the Testarossa taking the win. He'll be moving on to the finals. Here we go. Next. Our final matchup for the finals, we have the Jeepster versus the Camaro. Who's gonna take it? Who will be the third car in the finals? 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be the Jeepster taking the win, beating the Camaro and going to the finals. Wow, what a race. At last, we have our 3 cars in the finale, and they could not be more different. First up, we have the Bel Air, which is a dragster paint job. It was part of a 5-pack, and everyone loves the Bel Air. I think this car particularly was made for drag, because it says dragster up on the side, but it's a show car all by itself. Next up, we have the Testarossa, one of Ferrari's best cars, I imagine. And in Hot Wheels form, man, it is blazing fast. And then we have a Jeepster, an off-roading beast made by Jeep. I don't think it looks particularly good in person, but as a Hot Wheel, this thing is absolutely amazing down the track. Alright, it will be the first car to 3 wins. We will switch lanes every time. Let's get started. One of these cars will be going home with a bronze medal, one with a silver, but one car will go home with gold. Who will win Hot Wheels Tournaments Season 5? Race 1. 3, 2, 1. It's going to be the Testarossa sneaking the win in the middle lane, beating out the Gasser and the Jeepster. Here we go, race 2. Ferrari has 1 win. 3, 2, 1. It's a closer one, but the Ferrari again squeezes out the victory from the Jeepster and the Gasser. Wow. If the Testarossa can win this race, it is all over in 3, 2, 1. And it's going to be the Ferrari taking the win. The Gasser gets derailed, but he was so far back, I don't think it's even worth it. The Ferrari is the champion of Hot Wheels Tournaments Season 5. Now, just for fun, I say we race for 2nd and 3rd. We got Jeepster versus the Gasser in 3, 2, 1. It is going to be the Jeepster sneaking the victory away from the Gasser's grasp. So here you have it, guys. Here are your champions. First place, we have the Ferrari Testarossa. In 2nd place, we have the Jeepster. And in 3rd place, we have the Chevy Bel Air Gasser. That concludes it. Thank you guys for watching this entire season. I hope you enjoyed it. It was so much fun to film. And now we know what is our fastest car on the Super 6-lane raceway. It is the Ferrari Testarossa. So I will see you guys in the next video. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.